So, if I sound a little bit like Batman from Chernobyl today, it's because I'm sick. The throat is sore. But honestly, it fits the vibe. Because today, we need to talk about something heavy. We need to talk about the structure of reality itself. I have been planning this video for a long time. I've been carrying these thoughts around, waiting for the right moment to put them into the world. And as much as I love to have these conversations in a bar, some wine glasses, finding like minded people to share these thoughts with seems virtually impossible. Anyway, pardon my digression. When I look around, I see misguiding, misplacement, unawareness, or obliviousness. You're walking, but you don't have a North Star. Even if you aren't actively seeking a journey, it's good to have a map. Because once you understand the structure, once you see the pattern, you start to realize that the chaos in your life isn't random. It's a process, it's alchemy. There are four stages to this path: Nigredo, Albedo, Citrinitas, and Rubedo. I want to walk you through them because I believe that if you understand this map, you might just be able to command reality through your will. Let's go. Let's start with the most important one, the one that terrifies us, but also the one that saves us. Nigredo, the Blackening. Now, listen closely, because this is where people get it wrong. Nigredo is not just having a bad day. Nigredo is a black swan event. It's a paradox in the very tissue of your reality. Here is the hard truth. If your life is good enough, you cannot enter the Nigredo. And I need to be precise here. There are people, rare cases, who are fortunate enough to start their journey in Albedo already. They never had the trauma, they never broke, and yet they walk the alchemical path. That exists. And there is a huge, massive amount of people who will never cross this journey at all. They sleep, they live, they die. And that's okay too. I'm not here to impose any sort of absolute truth on you, okay? So, Nigredo, or Nigredo, there is no linear logic that leads you here. You cannot choose to activate this state, because why would you? Why would anyone choose to be broken? Nigredo is an external force. It cannot be activated by your deliberate actions. It requires imbalance. It's the trauma you didn't choose. It's the shadowy circumstances that find you. It comes to take everything from you: your comfort, your ego, your safety. So that a new set of reality can be manifested. A reality that will force you to adapt to it. And look, I know how terrifying it is. I have seen and confronted that black swan myself. It feels like the whole universe is tearing you apart. Yet, some people, they never know Nigredo. They are too cauterized to perceive it. They suppress it. They dissimulate. And now listen very closely to what I'm gonna say. And that's the whole point of Nigredo. If you truly want to understand, surpass, and overcome it, they refuse to take accountability for the suffering they didn't cause. I will say that again. They refuse to take accountability for the suffering they didn't cause. And so they stay stuck. But looking back, now that I'm on the other side, it's majestic. Because I wouldn't be the man I am today without it. I would never have reached clarity without the darkness. It's the paradox. The worst moment of your life is the only door to the best version of your life. But you have to let yourself take accountability of the suffering and actively walk through it once you understanding why it's there doing that with you. And it's gonna be painful, my friend. But you have to endure. You have to walk past it. So, if you survive the paradox, if you let the Nigredo break you down to your atoms, you enter the Albedo, the Whitening. And this is where I am right now. I'd say I'm thriving through the Albedo stage because Albedo is not just feeling better. It's wisdom. It's the clarity you get from the lessons of the Nigredo. It's the awareness of the mistakes you can never make again. But make no mistake here, Albedo requires work. It requires discipline. It requires relinquishment. It requires devotion. It brings a peace and assurance true that you have never met before. It clears the path enough to give you vision. It allows you to be and aspire to be, wanting to be 1% better every day. For you aren't guessing anymore. You have certainty. You know the path is good, is virtue, and you are fully equipped for the challenges because you already have survived the worst. This is where you wash the metal. This is where you prepare. Then comes the Citrinitas, the yellowing. This is the harvest. I actually can't tell you much about from this experience because I haven't gotten there myself yet. But I do have a clear vision of what it looks like. This is the basic principle of alchemy, turning metals into gold. Citrinitas means you have won the game of life. You get to enjoy the fruits of your journey. But here's the catch, and this is vital. Citrinitas can never be fully achieved if Albedo was not there before. If you try to get the gold without the clarity, without the Nigredo, that's just vanity. That's greed. That risks leading to your demise or pushing your inner evil out onto the world. We see this all the time. People who get rich but have no soul. That is gold without Albedo. Real Citrinitas is knowing you turn the metal into gold through virtue. It's knowing that the light you hold came from the darkness you survived. And finally, the Rubedo, the Reddening, the Philosopher's Stone. This is the impossible stage. Rubedo means you hold the power in your hand to command reality. It is an immense power. It's hard to even put into material perspective. You are capable of astonishing deeds now. And I only know one person in history who went through all 4 stages and reached Rubedo. I won't speak his name, but I think you know who I mean. he who commands the stars and conjured up his own death. Think about that. We humans, we don't die. We are passive. Death happens to us. Even a suicidal person, they hang themselves, but the body dies from lack of oxygen. They trigger a cause, but they don't command the stop. We are always passive when it comes to the action of dying. But him, into thy hands I commend my spirit. That is Rubedo. That is the ability to command reality to such a degree that even death and immortality coexist as an active choice. So, as of now, it seems almost impossible for us to reach this state. Sorry to disappoint. But then again, to give you a material perspective, imagine a human being who has conquered everything the physical world has to offer. An individual that had fully reached to Citrinitas. I'm now talking about reaching for other planets, finding a way to make species immortal, conquering other universes. That is what a material Rubedo would look like, and that's just the physical stuff. I wouldn't dare to touch the spiritual possibilities here. Still, I believe in full circles. I believe in patterns. If a Black Swan event, the Nigredo, was commanded upon your life to throw you into absolute darkness, who knows? Once you advance from Citrinitas, maybe another Black Swan manifests. Because walking into Rubedo is even more unlikely than being found by Nigredo. For this second Black Swan shall grant you the infinite light, where there is no impossible. So this is the path from the paradox of the tissue of reality to commander of stars. It's a long walk, but you have the map now. And if you're walking this path, if you have felt the paradox of Nigredo, comment the word Yliaster below. Let me know I'm not walking alone. And if you want to help me get to Citrinitas, check the art in the description link. It helps me keep the lights on while I walk through the Albedo. Subscribe to the channel. El Psy Congru.